Last week, the Supreme Court declined to review rulings from 3 federal appeals courts that had struck down bans on same-sex marriage in 5 states across the country. Going forward, marriage equality will be the law in those states. Now, the practical consequences of the court's decision are profound for families throughout the nation. Within hours of the decision, same-sex couples in Indiana, Oklahoma, Utah, Virginia, and Wisconsin were able to have their unions recognized in the states where they live, to stand with their partners and with their children as loving and committed families with the full protection of the law. I am pleased to announce that the federal government will recognize the same-sex marriages now taking place in the affected states. And I have directed lawyers here at the Department of Justice to work with our colleagues at agencies across the administration to ensure that all applicable federal benefits are extended to those couples as soon as is possible. We will not delay in fulfilling our responsibility to afford every eligible couple, whether same-sex or opposite sex, the full rights and responsibilities to which they are entitled. With their long-awaited unions, we are slowly drawing closer to full equality for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender Americans nationwide. By letting the lower court decision stand, the Supreme Court expanded the number of states allowing same-sex marriage from 19 to 24, along with the District of Columbia. Just one day after the Supreme Court's action, the United States Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit joined the other courts that have invalidated bans, extending marriage rights even further. Since the decision, at least half a dozen additional states have recognized marriage equality. And even more states covered by the lower court rulings may be joining them in short order. The steady progress towards LGBT equality we've seen and celebrated is important, and it is historic. But there remain too many places in this country where men and women cannot visit their partners in the hospital or be recognized as the rightful parents of their own adopted children, where people can be discriminated against just because they are gay. Challenges to marriage restrictions are still being actively litigated in courts across the country. And while federal appeals courts have so far been unanimous in finding that bans on same-sex marriage are unconstitutional, if a disagreement does arise, the Supreme Court may address the question head-on. If that happens, I want to be clear. The Justice Department is prepared to file a brief consistent with its past support for marriage equality. In the meantime, we will continue to extend federal benefits to same-sex married couples to the fullest extent allowed by federal law. And we will continue to work to the very best of our ability to bring about a more equal future for all Americans nationwide.